Welcome back to Three Potatoes in a Pot. I am your host, Gracie, along with Brody
Hello.
and Aiden.
Meh.
And today we're talking about everybody's favorite topic, the upcoming election. The future
Yay.
is bleak.
And it's bleaker than it has ever
Mm-hmm. We're
been. Anyway.
we're really pooped.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
We're really pooped.
Yep.
Yes.
And I thought we pooped when Biden got elected.
I'm tired of him saying, "Hey guys, at least I'm not Trump. Haha, still vote for me, please." It's like you have no campaign. Your campaign is I'm not the other guy.
Yep.
Which is a better campaign than Trump has. Like, hey, I'm the only Republican currently running, so hey, I win.
I know. It's like, and I cannot stand people who glorify Trump. Like, you are working class, he does not care about you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was reading this BBC article about DeSantis dropping out of the race, and you know what he said when DeSantis endorsed him? He said, "We don't need the DeSantis voters' votes." Come on.
Oh, he
Seriously?
knows he has a cult around him.
Yeah.
It's like people I've never met anybody who's like, "Wow, Biden's the best president." But it's like if somebody was like that. It's
I've
like
only, at least around here, I've only met at least Biden's not Trump.
yeah,
And
which again
so,
is a lame excuse.
yeah. What
If
happened to the last good president we had was Obama, and he was decent.
Obama's still not a very good guy.
yeah, he wasn't great. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't
He,
great.
Which is
exactly.
why I
And
said decent.
I know, and that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired. I want, why are we? I'm tired of being surprised by what happens in American politics. I want to be bored. Can we just be bored again?
Mm-hmm.
Make America bored again because I'm tired of seeing crazy things. It's like, what? Look what our president did. Oh, not again.
He slipped up the stairs again? Come on.
I'm tired of being the a, a, a joke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm,
Like, you've seen the meme of Biden falling asleep at the UN.
Yeah.
You think every other
mm-hmm.
world leader's fallen asleep? No.
I'm pretty
Most of them are awake.
The Australian Prime Minister pooped himself, though.
Oh
So
man.
that
I'm pretty sure Biden wears a diaper.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's like, and it's like our last president. If anybody was mean to him, he would immediately go to Twitter. Do you know
Yep.
how embarrassing that is?
Actually, it's X now.
I don't care. I'm calling it Twitter.
Yeah, it's still Twitter in my
I want
mind.
Kanye West president again.
Hell no.
Yeah, no thanks. There's
Um,
Oh,
not many
I,
good candidates.
no.
yeah.
Even
Who are the Democratic candidates?
I don't even know. I
well,
don't
there's
even want
not
to
any
look.
because you have to if you're going against you don't want to go against the sitting president, especially not for a party
Oh
nomination.
wait, yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
Like,
there's some people who are trying to make a play, but who knows?
when did becoming a president shift from being a noble
It's
cause to being a publicity stunt?
a good leader to be rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so we got most of our decent. I've just looked up a list of this. We have basically any decent. Most of the decent Republicans have dropped out of this race. there are a couple There's more Democrats going against Biden than there are Republicans against Trump at the moment. There's
I think
two
that's
Republicans still in the race, and then there's some third party people.
I think that's because it's such a daunting task to go up against somebody with such a cold following. Because with Biden, it was always we're voting for him because he's not Trump. Now, you know, in the Democratic side, it's like we're trying to get this man out of here. Anybody will try to step up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's a hard task because
It is,
everyone knows fighting against a sitting president is an incredibly hard presidential campaign.
even if it's not a good one.
Yeah, because just the power of putting the podium with the seal of the president on it, that's a pretty powerful message.
hmm It's like I'm tired of. I'm just. I'm just tired.
You're just tired.
Yeah. It's like why are none of the bills trying to be passed working towards making America a better place?
Because there's so many things that could be fixed, and they could be fixed kind of easily.
Dude, I literally saw a post of some like leader in Oklahoma trying to get rid of furries. It's like, man, come on. There's bigger fish to fry.
No, that is the main priority of Oklahoma at the moment. There's
Leave
nothing
like
else going on in Oklahoma.
it's like leave some kids alone. I mean, like I'm sure there's adults, but like they're like larpers. Leave them alone. It's like as
Okay,
long as they're not hurting anybody, I don't care.
so I saw this one meme thing. So I don't know what app it is, but apparently there's an app where you can track furries, and there's a weird correlation of um furries and Bigfoot sightings.
That's what this post was talking about because it's this guy who talks about news that's happening and he's like, "Guys, Bigfoot is a furry." I mean, it, come on.
I mean, what else is Oklahoma? Oklahoma is not doing. Nothing's going on in Oklahoma.
I mean, try to help out the population of homeless people or something.
Does
Help
Oklahoma
out.
have homeless people?
Well, every state has homeless people. Do you think
Oklahoma,
homeless people just don't exist?
no, I know, but Oklahoma has only like 4,000 homeless people.
But it's like worry about important things, you know?
Yeah,
I'm sure housing is expensive there too. It's like worry about that. I don't know. Worry about anything else.
I know. Hang on. Looking up how expensive housing is in Oklahoma. I mean, compared to the rest of the US, it's pretty
It's
cheap.
probably low, yeah.
It's $183,733 from what I can find, being the average.
Let me just look up problems in Oklahoma.
Well, I'm pretty sure they recently, I don't know how recent it is, but they like refused to sign a bill supporting weed or something.
I don't know. Maybe help with tornado relief. I don't know. Affordable health care,
The
high
two
quality education.
tornadoes. That's a US problem. That's not
Well, I just looked up Oklahoma Policy Institution. Educating our children is our children is the biggest responsibility that we entrust in our state and local governments. Nevertheless, Oklahoma provides fewer resources to common education compared to other states.
So apparently one of the biggest problems in Oklahoma is lack of internet.
Yeah, see all of these problems, and yet you choose to mess with the animal larpers.
That's a
What
good way to describe them.
it is. It's like what's next? Are they gonna make a law on cosplaying?
Probably knowing Oklahoma.
It's just some of these bills are a joke.
Hmm.
And what Colorado tried to do was just the wrong move in general.
What did Colorado try to do?
Trying to
Oh
get
wait, remove Trump from the ballot or something, right?
yeah, it's like you're not going to get anybody to really rally behind
Yeah.
that. It's like people with money are above the law. Even if there was reason to get him off the ballot, it wouldn't work.
No,
In fact, I'm sure his mugshot made people more excited to vote for him.
kind of as a meme.
Exactly.
But I don't think
I just want.
anyone should be able to keep someone off a presidential ballot, just no matter what, because it's not in the U.S. Constitution. So I don't feel like it's something state power should hold
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
but
take
then
away
he's
what
also.
someone want it. Because no matter what someone's done or if you don't like them, if someone wants to vote for him, then that's their choice too, and they should be able to have the choice at least.
It doesn't matter. Voting is a scam.
Yeah.
Again, we gotta just go back to chieftain era. No politics, just one man. And if you don't like him, just kill him and put another one in.
And like none of Biden's like initial like promises were ever fulfilled. Not like presidents ever fulfill their promises, but it's just like why must we keep him on top if he's going to continue like to lie about things he's going to do?
Who are we talking about? Biden?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that's no different from any other president, really.
That's what I'm saying. It's just why do we continue to give false hope for these things that are really important? Like student student loan relief, like student debt relief.
Well, I mean, he did a lot of that, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he relieved quite a bit of it, at least.
No, the thing didn't pass.
Did it not? I thought it passed a couple. I thought
I
at
don't
least
think that's
one
the
bill
best way to go
passed.
about that anyway. I think maybe, you
How
know,
about get this?
maybe they
Free
should
education,
limit the price of colleges can charge for things, 'cause, some things are a
or
little
or
bit
or
absurd.
or get this free education.
Oh
That'd
no,
be
that would be
nice.
horrible.
Let's move
Just
like maybe $2 billion from the military fund towards the education.
exactly. Why
Hmm.
are we helping other countries fight in wars when
We're not even helping that many countries. We're okay. We're probably helping Taiwan. We're helping Israel.
I
We've
know,
got
but it's
a
like
couple
million
military bases in Europe. It's not that much. It shouldn't cost that much money.
it's just like millions of dollars that could be going to something else.
Billions actually.
Billions, sorry. That's even worse.
Uh-huh. It's 900 billion going to the military. Anyways,
Yeah.
And I cannot stand the fact that one of these days I am going to because I want to be what I'm thinking right now is I want to be a therapist. And the idea that somebody who really needs help cannot come to me because they cannot pay for it just makes me sick to my stomach.
well, I mean, there's cheaper, like there's BetterHelp, right? BetterHelp is a cheaper.
Yeah, there's things like that, but like I can't get a therapist because my insurance doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
I think we need to figure out a way to do away with insurance health system because
We need
that's what
universal
drives up the
healthcare.
stupid cost of everything because they
Of
negotiate with the
course.
people. So I think they should put a couple laws in there, limit what things can charge once they get not $60,000 for a helicopter ride to the hospital.
I know. It's like some people are one medical bill away from being homeless.
Yep,
Some people are struggling so hard that if they were to become very ill, they would ignore it to keep their family afloat, no matter how much it would be detrimental to their health.
exactly.
Hmm.
And this, it's just the people being paid off is what's stopping any help for people. Because
And
when you got a
people,
multi-million or probably billion-dollar insurance company, you could just what's the difference to stuff a couple million in a politician's pocket to keep you going?
hmm
Which should be illegal,
of
Yeah,
course.
but it's considered, what is it, lobbying? I'm pretty sure. As
something
long as
like that.
it's, I'm pretty sure as long as if it's public, it's not considered legal.
Yeah, but that's still even that's dumb.
Hmm. Because there's so much we've got to fix about this country.
Yeah. And that's why I'm liking that younger people are starting to like actually look into what goes on and stuff instead of just like agreeing with what their parents say, you know?
Yep,
Cuz I feel
But
like
yeah,
that is what it used to be, but now people, not all the time, but people are now deciding what they believe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
definitely.
Which, I mean, that can be good, but that can be bad sometimes as well, but it all depends.
Of course.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a trend going on where people are starting to disagree with their parents' beliefs. So, like, whatever. So, if their parents are Republican, they're probably gonna vote for Democrats and stuff like that. Which
Which
that's
I don't
another
think,
thing. A two-party system is stupid
of course.
because, I mean, I don't know what other countries do, but at least the way America does it is not good.
I know, it's like you're either one or the other, which that doesn't make any sense because everything in life is so complex, you know? You can't
Yeah,
boil everything down into a small box.
Yeah, I think countries like the UK they have like four political parties, major political parties, and still I think we should just attaching yourself to one group of people is the dumbest decision you could make.
yeah, because when I'm gonna vote, I'm not gonna vote for any party in particular. I just vote for whoever I think would do it the best.
Mhm.
If that
And
person believes in stuff I don't believe in, then I don't care really. But
and that's the problem. People think that their side is so much better than the other when both sides are extremely flawed.
yeah,
Because neither side cares about what you go through.
Yep. And one if one side brings up one point, the other side takes the completely other point. So you don't get a nice middle ground ever because well, one
Mm-mm.
side says this, well we have to be the other side then because we can't agree
because
with
Like,
them. That'd be stupid.
we don't have any like what's the term? Because it's either was we don't have any like middle ground parties.
mhm.
It's either Democrat or Republican or whatever the two extremes are of those, like the two
Yeah,
minor
and
parties.
Republicans appeal to the working class. and stuff like that. They appeal to those who work really hard and stuff like that. And then what I really do not like about the Party is they prey on the marginalized. They make those who have tougher times getting jobs and stuff like that, they make them feel safer when they are not safe with those politicians, you know?
Yep.
It's like their main point is trying to help the LGBTQ plus community, but they are not there to help you. They are there to keep you in your box. They are using you as a front. It is a it's exploitative.
Hmm. I yes, I agree with you. I I don't know much about that.
They never help. They just say they will. It's always like, "Oh, I believe in rights for everybody, but I'm not going to take the time to actually fight for those rights."
Yeah. Which I mean, at least from what I'm seeing, people aren't being like against others as much anymore, especially because I mean there are still pockets and like the US and other parts of the world, but still it seems to be lessening. So I feel like the Democratic Party needs to be less about
It's
that now, since it's not
it,
as much of a problem.
it's not as bad as like obviously as it would be in like the early 1900s, but it's still bad enough that like 150 bills are trying to get passed in the beginning of this year.
For what?
Like just like about gay marriage and like transgender rights and stuff like that.
Which,
See, I've never really looked into it much, but I mean, I know the whole marriage thing is weird,
Hmm.
but what other things is there trying to be passed? Because I don't know what else other rights
Well,
they don't have that other
it's
people
about
don't
like
have.
their health care and like whether or not you can like turn them away for a job and stuff like that.
Okay.
And also, it's like why are we worrying about gay marriage when you can marry your cousins still in country and not countries in states?
Yeah, I think that the whole marriage thing, you know, church, that's different. I have different feelings on that. But a legal marriage is simply a tax purposeful for your economic reasons. Like, I mean, you're signing papers to make you together. Like, what's the dealio here?
Exactly. Like nobody should be dating somebody for 30 years if they really love somebody and they want to marry them, you know? Like legally, you know? Cuz like and it's like there are some gay Christians that I'm sure feel alienated because they cannot get married or they feel like they can't get married in their own space.
Yeah, I mean, because, yeah, the church is different because the church has more specific beliefs that are a little bit different. But legally, there shouldn't be a reason to stop it. I don't see much reason to. This doesn't
well,
seems weird.
yeah. I mean, a church and the government are not the same thing. So the government at least should make it legal, but the
Yeah.
church can do whatever they want because people aren't being forced to follow the whatever religion they are. So they can just kind of leave. It's
Yeah.
so I don't.
My
Again, I don't
other
know much about that. I haven't looked much into it.
yeah, my other grievance is keeping religion out of politics, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just got to do that.
Because those are two separate entities.
Politics should be about the well-being of everyone for respective reasons, not getting only certain things done. It should be about the well-being for everyone no matter what. Then you can let the separate religious groups handle whatever you're trying to believe.
Because passing laws and bills specifically on religion alone is pretty dicey.
Yeah.
Because if you let Christians do one thing, then what about Muslims? It's like, could we? I know we're not a Muslim run country, but if we were, then they could like get bills so you can't have pork and stuff like that. And then that leads to,
Other people getting mad.
yeah, it's like we do not want to be like China because in China they like with Muslims and stuff like that, they are forcing them out of their hijabs and they are making them eat pork and stuff like that. And we want to be better than that. We want to be open to everyone. And so that way we pass bills and laws that are for everyone.
Yeah, laws and politics should be a baseline for the safety of everyone. Like, murder, illegal by law. That's just a no-brainer. Other things
Mm-hmm.
like what you were mentioning, there's not much reason to regulate those.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
There's just so much.
Yep.
yeah,
And everything's so badly screwed up, it's like, where do you start to fix it?
I know. And it just I'm sure it just trickles down and I feel like there's a sense of hopelessness with our generation because it's like what can I do? I'm just one person and I feel like all the cards are stacked against me.
Yeah. I feel like the only way anything could. Okay.
what?
I feel like the only
What?
way that anything could kind of get fixed is if we got a really, really good president. Because, there has been
Mhm.
some tries to get a good congressman or something like that into office, but uh, one congressman doesn't do enough to fix anything. Because
Mhm.
they'll just get dragged in with the system when it comes time for re-election.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also presidents have a lot of money,
Mhm.
which
There, there's just too much power imbalance. It's like I thought this whole system was put in place that way there was never too much power imbalance.
yeah,
I thought that was the whole point.
Which I watched a video about why we have so many ongoing so-called crises in the country that aren't really
Mhm.
crises. Uh, it's because the president is granted special executive powers for certain crises, and the president gets to decide when those are over.
Mm.
And why would you end up
so wait,
with something that gives you more power?
what are some of the examples of the false crises?
I mean, you can look them up. Just look up any ongoing crisis.
I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, because I'm just interested to see what.
Because I don't know what they actually are, but I do know that there's many ongoing ones.
False crisis over the Atlantic. What?
What? They're, they're launching the nukes. I knew it.
Pseudo crisis. Hmm. Let me look that. I'm sure it's hard to research this kind of pseudo crisis.
Oh wait, it's national emergency or something. I think
Oh,
that's what it is.
No,
oh, this is from 2019. This is an NBC News article. Trump's national emergency at the border is fake. Here are some very real emergencies he should be addressing.
that's from a while ago.
Yeah, it's just giving me It's just giving me the natural national emergency from 2019.
I
The
can't
immigrant one.
find
Mhm.
where they are, but let's see. Here's one that was started in the Carter administration, still ongoing.
What is that?
Saying it's
Fake
for
911 report of a fire
sanctions.
at the White House.
That's a national emergency.
It was published today.
Oh,
No, not today. Why did it say 6 hours ago if this happened a couple days ago?
maybe the article was published today.
Yeah, that's weird.
But anyway, that's hilarious. Like, imagine, hey, I'm gonna prank call the White House. What are you gonna do? Like, tell them you're gonna kill the president or something? No, you're gonna tell them the White House is on fire. I feel like they'd be able to see that. No, they won't.
It's just check in. Hey, Mr. President, is the building on fire? No. Okay. Problem solved.
Problem solved. And imagine that one time it is actually on fire.
Mr. President, is the building on fire? I remember fire when it was first made.
I remember fire and all the black churches that I went to. He was the preacher. Anyways, um,
Aha, I found something.
what did you find?
A prior Senate investigation had found 470 provisions of federal law that a president might invoke via a declaration of emergency. So, 470
What are
extra
some of
things you could
those?
do if you in national emergencies. So, if depending on what it is.
Interesting.
There's I think it was either Wendover Productions or Half as Interesting that made a video on it.
Mm.
Also, did you know that this, speaking of half as interesting, you know that one, like jet lag, um, YouTube channel?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're owned by the same person, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Wendover Productions, Jet Lag, and Half as Interesting are all the same person.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew that. Alright, so,
Also one of
since we're
the
talking,
owners of Nebula.
oh, oh really?
Oh, cool. Anyways,
Since we're talking about politics, we might as well discuss some controversial topics in politics.
All right.
You know, to have a little fun and spice this video up.
Yeah,
Alright,
let's do
first of
that.
all, gun laws.
we need more of them
We need
We need to
ones
make it
that
harder.
work.
because there is no way. I do not want. It should not be taught. And have you seen like these blood tablets? Have you heard of them?
No.
Mm-mm.
Parents are teaching their children these little tablets you put in your mouth, you ch- chew on them, fake blood comes out of it, and it looks like you're dead.
Ah,
What
It
does that do?
during a school shooting, you can take that. You can like that way you pretend to be dead and they do
Uh,
not shoot you.
oh, there's also parents who have been stuffing bullet uh, shields in the back of their kids' backpacks.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to next. It's like no child should have to be should not have to have their parents sit them down and teach them how to use this stuff.
Yep.
This should not be in children's backpacks. They should not be worried about going to school and coming home in a body bag.
yeah. My opinion is before we fix gun laws, we need to fix everything else. Because, at least from what I've seen, shootings really only happen in the most impoverished areas. So, of course, removing like guns from sale would fix a lot of stuff, but
Mhm.
there's still illegal ways to get guns, and
Yeah.
criminals don't care if you have a gun.
Mhm.
So if we fix poverty, if we fix everything else, because there are other countries that you can own guns in.
Mhm.
Well, a
It's
lot of
harder, but
countries like
yeah, you can own guns in a lot of countries. They don't have the same problems that we do.
Mhm.
So
I think that's
we just
also
gotta
because
fix everything else.
we have a media that heavily relies so much on thinking that these things are cool and that owning them is such a privilege when it's really not that cool, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to own a gun in the US, but
Mhm. It's
still,
just
in a
the
lot of other
only
countries,
reason why
it's
guns
just
should be around in the United States is a deterrent to make sure that anything the government doesn't overstep the bounds that it's been given by the Constitution.
mhm.
It shouldn't be need to be used for self-defense. It would be great if we could get to a point where that's the only reason why people have guns for that and for hunting, you know. That's not
Mhm.
terrible.
yeah,
Uh,
which a lot of the like hunting guns aren't even really used for self-defense. They're just not possible to be used for self-defense.
Mhm. And I hate the narrative that's put out that people want to get rid of guns. Nobody wants to get rid of guns. They just want it to be harder to obtain. It's
Well,
like
I mean, I bet
if
there's some extreme
I
liberals who want to.
yeah, of course there's extremes with everything, but the majority stands that they don't want that's just like with defunding the police. They don't want them to not be there anymore. They just want less money to go to
No,
them.
I don't. Yeah, but okay. Are you done? Are you done with your
Mhm.
thing? Okay. So the people who say defund the police make me really angry. I don't think they realize what defunding the police would do,
Mhm.
because it would just make the police force crappier. It would make them more dangerous. So if we put enough money into it, we put enough time into training officers and stuff, then that's what we need to do. We need to stop just taking money away from the thing that's protecting us.
yeah. The talk of defunding the police shouldn't happen until crime rate is far enough down to where the need for it is less.
Yeah. And then, um, oh, what was I gonna say? Like this is a completely different topic, but what we need to stop attempting to do what Europe is attempting to do. Because we all know Portland, right?
Mhm.
Portland is one of the most drug-ridden cities
Yeah.
in the entire United States, probably in the entire world. But that's because they tried to do what Europe was doing, like in the Netherlands.
Mhm.
They made pretty much all drugs legal, but they have ways to support the drug users. Like they have ways to get them off and stuff like that. And the US just isn't doing that.
Mhm.
So we need to stop following the lead of other countries because we are a lot different than other countries.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Definitely agree with
so
that.
Yeah, our problems
second,
are separate from somebody else's. Yeah.
uh-huh, yeah. So second, since the March for Life is going on, your opinions on abortions.
I believe getting rid of it will never get rid of it. If you think that you should get rid of it, you're only getting rid of safe ones.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but and I would probably never do it, but it should be there for the people who want it or need it.
Exactly. It's like
Because
you don't
stuff
know what
does
somebody
happen.
has gone through.
Yeah, stuff happens. And it's they could be in a like in a good financial situation. It couldn't be
Yeah.
in a good like spot in their life. So it's just sometimes it's easy that way.
Yeah, it should never be somebody else's decision.
I don't know. I have a different view. I don't see good in killing unborn babies, but I think there should be a better system for people who, like you said, can't financially support it, are too young to support a kid. There should be a nicer adoption system to take care of kids who
Yeah,
can't get
because
into families who can take care of them.
Well,
Even someone who, uh, like if someone had a kid when they're still in like high school or something, there should be a process to help them be able to still have that kid, but then be able to not have to take care of that kid because that's not good for
I
the
do
kid
not
or the person.
I do not believe that is a kid. It is not, because that is like saying if you have a miscarriage, that is murder.
mm,
Well,
okay, yeah,
people are still, in that case, people are usually sad about the kid. They're
That's
not.
yeah,
because that is
oh,
their choice to continue that. That is like saying my natural process every month is killing a potential life. It is not. If
oh man,
somebody if somebody cannot support that, they should not have to stop their life for that. If a child goes through that, they should not have to continue through that pain.
yeah. Which I mean, I believe that like um, it shouldn't be needed. I would love to live in a world where stuff like this wouldn't be needed. And I think that the
Mhm.
best situation for this is to, and most of the time at least, is to put the kid up for adoption. But also that has its drawbacks. Like the
In a
adoption system
perfect
in the US
world, that would be
isn't
easy.
that good.
In
Yeah,
a perfect world, that would be easy. But giving birth costs money.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, the healthcare isn't good. It costs a
Mhm.
lot of money. And then the
I'm
adoption system isn't that good either in the
I'm
US.
sure some people are backed in, like, not everybody is happy about this. Nobody's happy about this. This is a traumatizing event in their life. And if they were able and they had the money and the resources, I'm sure a lot more people would, like, the abortion rate goes down when it is legal because people have options, healthcare as options. When they don't have to pay so much, then they start to see the options. Their life doesn't seem to end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could, if some other systems like healthcare got fixed, it would probably help
Yeah,
that
Then
problem
other
too.
problems would get fixed.
because imagine being 17, you have no money, your parents kicked you out. If you were to have that baby, you would have to have it in your home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
which you may not
I
have if you got
don't get me
kicked out.
wrong, I don't think a situation like that's good, and that's why I think we need better systems for helping people like that in that situation.
And
They
that's why
shouldn't have
we
to
need better
pay for it.
education on these things, like sex
Yeah,
education.
because um at least during our health class we skip right over that.
Mhm.
Which I
And
mean,
I didn't
not that big of a problem where we go to school, but in other schools it should be taught about how stupid it is.
Yeah, and you don't even have to say like it's like I don't even think that should be skipped over because at some point some people, like, you could just say this is what you should do during marriage. They don't have to, it doesn't have to be, it could just be like this is. And also, sex education isn't just about sex, it's about like what goes on in your own body.
Yeah.
Yep.
which I believe was very helpful because I went to a public school, which I believe when they would split us up and have these videos, it was very crucial for me getting that information because I wasn't about to go out on my own and look for it or even ask my mom about it because I was, embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because it is
Which I mean,
embarrassing sometimes.
hmm which I think um women need a lot needed a lot more than men do.
Yeah, of
But
course.
still, yeah, I don't think we should
Our
skip
school
over that.
sucked at giving that information, especially when we were in middle school.
Mhm.
That
Well,
at the Catholic school they did the, you know, whatever. What was it called, Abe? Do you remember what that thing was called?
did we even do anything?
It was
Like
like that weird thing talking about. There was one chapter over it, and it didn't say anything about the actual
theology of
functions
the
of
body?
anything. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
basically said
gosh.
it basically said, don't have sex, and then nothing else.
Yeah, it was basically purity culture. It was like, "Hey, don't do this because it is bad, but we're not gonna tell you how to stay safe when it happens. We're just gonna tell you it's a bad thing and then never dive into it again."
Yeah. Which I mean, in my opinion, you have to be at least 18 to, do it. In my opinion, that's
Mhm.
like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So, but still, stuff like that does happen.
Mhm.
And then, yeah. All right. Anybody else got any other controversial topics?
Controversial topics.
Uh-huh.
Um, do you believe that men get special rights that women don't?
No, not
Or do you
really.
believe that there
Especially,
is prejudice in the workforce against women?
I mean, for some jobs, maybe,
Mhm.
but those are, for those jobs specifically, there's not that many women who work those jobs anyways. So it's not that big of a problem, in my opinion, because in my mind, I'm talking about like factory jobs and stuff that deals with manual labor. Women do
Mhm.
work jobs, of course, but they there's not that many. They're mostly male run.
And I
So
have a little story on that. So there was this creator that I was watching, and she's an electrician. I'm pretty sure she's an electrician. And anyway, her comments were filled where, like, look at this pick me, she's just doing this for guys' attention. It's like she's doing manual labor because she's passionate about some of this stuff.
yeah, which that's stupid. If a woman wants to do a manual labor job, that's fine. If she has the qualifications to do it, let her do it.
Mhm.
But
I
back to the prejudice thing just for a sec,
mhm.
is um both men and women are different, and I'm tired of people thinking that they're the same.
Of course.
Like, especially in sports, like people are saying, "Oh, why can so I'm talking about like a transgender man who switched over to a woman. Oh, why can't a transgender person play in a different sport? Because that's not how it works. It
Here
would
is Oh, wait, continue.
it would create a super power imbalance between that person and other people. So that's
Here is my idea on that. I feel if for everybody to be happy, there should be sports, like professional sports, specifically for like trans, like
specifically for
athletes. Yes.
okay.
So
I
like
mean,
we're all groups of
that's-
people because nobody will be happy because For some people, sports is their outlet. Sports is everything. I feel like for um like children's sports or like high school sports, I feel like it doesn't matter as much. But for professional sports, I feel like there should just be a separate like pool and stuff like that of all these different types of sports. That way people don't get upset and that way those people can still play the sport that they love.
Yeah, because in my opinion, they should just what they're until we do have stuff like that, their genetics show. I forgot the term, but for lack of a better term, what their genetics show should be what sport they should play because men are just naturally stronger and faster.
The
So
problem with
create that, until we can create the professional sports like you're talking about,
mhm.
then they should just stick to what they are genetically.
The problem with that is just the fact that it is so traumatizing because it's like if a trans man was to play with only women, where are they gonna change? Where are they gonna like how are they going to approach this stuff and not get hated, you know?
So are we talking about because I'm not familiar with the terms, are we talking about a man who's trans or a woman who's trans?
Trans men are female at birth.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, well,
So
I
so
mean
they would
that just makes, in my mind at least, that makes more sense than putting someone who's probably very clearly genetically not a man in a men's locker room.
but how are they going to go into a woman's locker room, start changing, and be safe? How are they going to play these sports and be safe? Because I am not kidding. Being being different in that way gets you like it's very dehumanizing at points. You feel like you're not human. You feel like you're wrong and it feels like everybody's watching you. And people want to hurt you. People want you dead. And I feel like sports are so trivial compared to what they are going through.
Mm.
Unless somebody's transitioning with malicious intent of winning all of the trophies and stuff like that, fine, kick them out. But if that person is just playing to have fun, I don't see any reason why they should be denied. Who cares if they're last place? Who cares if they struggle a little bit, if they're on the bench a lot? Because if they're not up to par with everybody else, they're not going to get as much playing time. But as long as they are happy, I feel like we shouldn't we shouldn't decide what they get to do.
Well, yeah, what you're saying, I mean, someone who's like, if I'm wrong, tell me, but you're saying someone who's like less strong in a sense
Hmm.
playing on a team that's more strong. Is that what you're getting at? In
Yeah.
what you're just saying? Yeah, that I don't see much problem with that. But people who are more strong and play less strong people, that's a problem because, that affects like I don't know, like you get those are people's livelihood at the end of the
Hmm.
day. The
Yeah,
winning a championship decides whether or not they get hired for the next year or not.
Yeah.
so I mean, because at least in high school football, there are I've played a couple teams that have some girls on them, and I mean that's fine because it's not gonna really make they're gonna play their best players,
Mhm.
and most of the time that's not gonna be a girl because they're
Yeah.
just different. But um, when but on the other side of that, if a man's playing a woman's sport, the team's gonna play their best player,
Yeah,
and
that is the
that
biggest grievance with
that's
transgender people in sports. It's trans women because they feel like there's going to be a power imbalance. And it's like it's a very hard thing to figure out.
yeah. So um, since I'm not familiar with it, is there any like for most trans people, is there any like physical difference between them and them and someone that's so like is there any physical difference most of the time between a someone a man who's become trans and just a normal man? Because
There is there is difference. It all depends on whether you're medically transitioning or just you don't medically transition because some people don't want to mess with their hormones. Some people don't want to do the surgeries, and that's totally fine.
yeah. So I mean, if there's really no physical difference, if you can't really tell the difference, then I just don't quite understand why someone would feel unsafe per se, because
Yeah,
there's no reason to feel unsafe if they're just like everybody else.
yeah,
But
that's like my thing with like bathrooms. It's like, oh, I don't want them in my bathroom. It's like, what is stopping a man from coming into your bathroom anyway? You know, what is stopping evil people from doing evil things? Nothing.
yeah,
I think maybe I just randomly thought of this, so I haven't really thought it out much, but maybe the solution to sports is we keep kind of the two league system we have of like, but instead of making it male or female sports, we make it like kind of, you know how wrestling's based on weight and stuff?
Hmm.
What if we base it off of strength? There's two leagues, the weaker one and the stronger one. You have which is decided off of height, weight, and your strength. I don't know how you do that exactly, but maybe something like that. And then you could have, like you have the nice bathrooms. That if you guys have been to the new airport, all those bathrooms pretty much are um, for everyone. Doesn't matter. Like
Hmm.
like locker rooms like that where you have separate areas for changing and stuff. You can it's kind of like I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, that might work, but there's gonna be that one person stuff like, oh, I should have been put in the weak league, blah blah blah, and then they get pissed.
Hmm.
But still, I feel like that would be the next best option other than creating the two more sports leagues like Gracie suggested, but that's still a long way off.
Yeah, and I
We,
mean, maybe we could just have a pool for people who want to play with boys and girls. You know, I'm sure there's some people who are like, I I don't care who I play with. I just want to play, you know?
well, yeah, so like recreational teams
Mhm.
almost.
I know because I know there's never going to be a perfect way for professional sports to deal with this issue because there's always the issue of fairness.
Yeah.
And it's like even if we do this stuff, people are never fair, you know? Like people will take steroids and stuff like that. People will do whatever they want to win.
True.
Yeah. But steroids are have become pretty much illegal in sports, so I
Yeah,
mean
but
if
doesn't
they
mean
get
they can't
discovered they can get
stop them every
yeah,
time.
I know, but like there have been a lot of instances that if they do discover that you have been doing steroids, they get like the team gets the trophy removed or something. But so I just wanted to
Yeah. But it's
make
just
that
like,
point.
no, there's nothing to stop people who want to win no matter what, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people nowadays care too much about what other people are doing rather than what they're doing, you know? They care about how their individual experience is, but they also care is like is what they doing going to make me happy?
Yeah.
Hmm. Brody, how long have we been recording?
We just hit an hour.
Nice. All right.
Do you want
Anybody
to?
else got any more, or
Should we
are we just gonna
conclude
be
this
done?
episode of politics?
Yeah, we are ready to.
Yeah, my sister just walked in.
Hello?
Go away, Is.
What are you playing? Are you all playing together?
No, I'm playing Animal Crossing.
They're playing Minecraft, I bet you.
No, I'm just sitting here staring at my screen.
I'm playing Chrome web
1
browser.
hour? You guys need to go to bed. It's past your bedtime.
No, it's not. I don't have a bedtime, loser.
Yeah,
I don't have
what's
a
a
bedtime, loser.
bedtime?
You smell like farts. Literally smell like farts.
That is literally your upper lip. Ow!
That's what you get. Ow. You literally smell like farts.
Well, on that note,
Okay,
Aiden, you
she's
want to hit
gone.
us with a fun fact?
I was looking up political fun facts, to fit, um, to fit the theme of the episode. So this one's a little bit of long-winded ones, but so the worst campaign slogan in history belongs to Al Smith, who was against prohibition. To show his support for the creation, distribution, and sale of alcohol, he advertised, "Vote for Al Smith, and he'll make all your wet dreams come true."
Ugh.